The Mobile County Public School System presents Homeroom with Nancy Pierce.
Hello and welcome to Homeroom. I'm Nancy Pierce, Public Relations Supervisor for the Mobile County Public School System. So glad to have you join us today. Teachers do so much work. They're incredible, especially our Mobile County Public School teachers. They go through a lot of training. They go to college. They do all sorts of things too as far as professional development. And some of them go through additional training, and it's called National Board Certification. And I want you to find out all about it because it's really incredible what they do and how it helps. So joining me today, Valerie Johnson from Mary G. Montgomery, and she is a counselor at Mary G. Good to have you here.
Thank you for having me.
And you are we call them an NBCT.
Very good, an NBCT, National Board Certified Teacher.
Exactly. We always use the initials when we can. When did you get your certification?
I earned my certification in 2011
in
school counseling.
Can you give us an overview of what NBCT
Sure.
is? Okay.
It's a voluntary advanced teaching credential that K-12 teachers can earn, and it's a certification that identifies teaching expertise, and that's done through performance-based, peer-reviewed assessment. And it's the gold standard of teaching. They have very high and rigorous standards, and it's really it can be the culmination of a teacher's career and expertce.
Okay, what do they have to do though in the training? Let's get back to that.
Sure. The certification process is really two parts. There is a classroom-based portfolio, and that includes a couple of different things. It includes a part where teachers have to analyze student work, and then there's a part that includes differentiation, and depending on the certificate area, of course it's different based on each area. And then the second part of the process is a computer-based assessment, where it's an actual test that you have to take. And all of, each component of each certificate area is different for each. There are 25 different certificate areas, and each certificate area has its own set of standards, and so it lends itself to each teacher and each content area having the opportunity to really go through and learn more about and be able to prove their expertise in their area.
And so yours is in counseling, is that correct? Have you've been a teacher too?
Yes.
When you were teaching, what did you teach?
I was a lower school music teacher.
Oh, okay. And then you became a counselor. Why did you change it to counseling?
I was really interested in it. I had a friend of mine who completed her master's degree in school counseling, and through those conversations and just different experiences that I had and people I've come into contact with, I was really interested in that field.
How did you get interested in becoming nationally board certified?
Again, it was through a friend that I had that actually went through national board certification, and through an ongoing dialogue, and she, I knew she was working really hard toward it, and I just little by little I became more and more interested in it. I mean, it was several years before I decided to go through it, but it was a friend of mine who earned her national board certification, and so that's how I heard about it in the first place.
And so it's like that gold star of teaching.
It is.
I think a lot of careers have that. I know in public relations, school public relations, you can get your APR, and it's that extra little thing that you do, that the training you go through, that really lets people know and lets you know that you have really gone the extra mile.
Yeah, they liken national board certification to the additional board certifications that other premier professions like medicine and law, what they have to go through. It's compared to that. So it's a very rigorous process. It's not easy, but it is so worth it in the end.
How long does it take? Do you have a specified amount of time, or can you take you know, 2 or 3 years, or what is that?
Well, it's really an exciting time to go through National Board certification at this time. In the past, you had to complete it in a year. Now, if you didn't earn it that year, you had an additional 2 times in order to earn the certification. However, now the National Board has made the whole process more affordable and accessible and more flexible. And now if a teacher is interested in it, they can take from 1 to 3 years. So for some people who want to hurry up and go through all 4 components in 1 year, they can do that. Or they can also take up to 3 years. And, you know, because people are busy and,
Sure.
you know, you have a baby or there's an illness in the family, and sometimes you just can't get it all done in 1 year. So it allows a lot of flexibility, which I think is a good thing.
Oh, sure. But this happens while you're still teaching.
Yes, it does.
You know, it's not that it's separate, that all of a sudden you've got
No,
this
you don't
time
get
when
the
you can
year
do
off.
this. Whoa. How does anybody do that?
It's you just have to make the time. You have to find the time. I think that many candidates underestimate the time that it takes, and they estimate that it can take between 200 and 300 hours of time. So that takes, you know, I started in the summer and finished the whole process the following March. So that is several months of work, of lots of late nights and weekends. So it's not easy. You know, it's the time that you spend. You know, it can be equal to earning a master's degree or an additional degree. So it can take a lot of time. It's not for the faint of heart.
And we have 42 in the Mobile County Public
We
School
do.
System. What did it used to cost? Do you know, compared to what it is
It
now?
used to
'Cause I know
cost
it's expensive.
It was. It used to cost around $2,800. They've reduced the cost to about $1,900.
Okay.
And there again, if you choose to go through it in 2 or 3 years, it breaks down that $1,900 into 2. So it makes it more manageable. It is still expensive. It is.
It is.
$1,900 is a lot of money, but it again is so worth it. And you get once you earn your certification, the state of Alabama allows you to have a $5,000 a year stipend.
Okay.
So that really helps.
Sure.
It does.
So that's every year. From
That's
now,
every year for
every
10
year.
years.
Okay.
And then after 10 years, you can recertify, and that process is much easier, much more manageable.
Well, and you've gone through it once, so you also know what it's like.
Right, and you continue to grow. It's not
Sure.
just about earning the certification and that's it, I'm done. I mean, as a National Board certified teacher, you become a lifelong learner, and that's important in the field of education.
Well, I'm so excited that you're here. We're going to talk to 2 other National Board certified. These are teachers. That'll come up next, and then I'm going to bring you back with one of our principals and to find out how it's helped you as far as what you do and how it's helped her in her school.
Right.
So we'll be right back. You sit tight.
Okay.
Okay, and we'll be right back. Stay with us.
It started with me at Murphy High School when I came here as a freshman in 1973. I was very interested in math and science already before I came to Murphy. From Murphy High School, I was appointed to the U.S. Naval Academy, was able to get my college degree and also my commission in the U.S. Navy from the Naval Academy. But it truly was the foundation that I gained here at Murphy High School that allowed me to take advantage of that great opportunity.
Here at the GED Pep Talk Center, we have pep talkers standing by to get you motivated for your GED diploma. Get your GED Pep Talk and find free classes at yourged.org.
Welcome back to Homeroom. I'm Nancy Pierce. We're talking about nationally board certification, and I have Miyoshi Williams. She is a teacher at Blount High School, and we'll get back with you in just a second. And Laurie Price, and you're from Dawes Intermediate. That's right. And so you just became a nationally board certified teacher. When did that happen?
I just certified this past year, so I found out in November.
Oh boy, do you have to wait a long time before you find out that you're certified?
Months.
How long did you have to wait?
About 7 months.
Oh my gosh. Were you pretty sure you had made it though?
I was pretty confident.
Good.
I worked really hard, so
Good.
I was pretty confident.
Good. And Laurie, what about you? You've been board certified since 2011?
2002.
2002.
Yes, and I have
Wow.
recertified, been through the recertification process. So
What was that?
it
was
was
it
a lot
difficult?
less involved.
Right.
Of course, it was still difficult,
Sure.
but not nearly as much things to do as the original process.
Well, Laurie, let's start with you. Why did you do it?
I was looking for a way to grow, and it just, it was either do that or go back and get like a specialist degree because I already have my master's. And I researched it and thought that just fit what I needed at the moment. And it was a really good, beneficial project. It was very hard, very involved, but it just seemed to fit with what I needed to do.
So you already had your master's. I was
already had my
wondering about if
master's,
you
yes.
could get a master's instead and maybe feel just as fulfilled. And Miyoshi, how about you? Why did you decide?
I as Laurie, I already had my master's as well, and I felt like it was the next step, as well. Just wanted to grow as an educator, and you get to a certain point and you say, okay, well, I need to do more. What more can I do to make myself a better teacher for my students? And so I wanted to go through the process. I was part of a fellowship program called Math for America Los Angeles. And one of the goals of the program was that at the end of the 5 years of the program, that we would all be national board certified. So I was able to go through the process with other teachers
that's good.
In my program and in my school. So that
that must help. Kind of like a study group from college. That's what it kind of reminds me of. How difficult was it? Time consuming? How did you do it? I'm a former teacher. I never had time to do anything else. How did you do it?
You just had to set aside a bit of time every day, working on it every day, or if you didn't, it would just be overwhelming. I finished it in a 6-month time period because at the time I certified, it was a set time. And so each day I had to work on it. I set a time and I did it, but it was, when I sent the box off, because it's a box you have to send off and things like that, it was like the ultimate, because I was like, I'm through. So it was. I cannot imagine just trying to save it until the last minute.
Sure.
It's try and get it all done. So
Time management?
Yes.
Definitely.
Definite.
Miyoshi, how about you?
Well, for me, my process was a little bit different
Right.
because when I certified, there was an option for what they call Take One. And that's when you work on one portfolio for 1 year, and then you do the rest the next year. So in 2013, I worked on the one portfolio. That was the classroom video, the small group video. So then you kind of get a score from that to see, okay, well, should I continue with it, or do I need to grow more before I attempt this process? So for me, it was a little easier because that entry I didn't have to worry about.
Right.
But then I had the other entries and a lot of time management. But and then you want perfection, so
Sure.
you tape and you tape and you tape, and you want to get better and better each time, and that's what the process is all about: improving, reflecting, and thinking about, well, what can I do better next time?
What do you teach?
I teach geometry this year, mathematics.
Has it helped?
It has. I tell you, I didn't realize how much now I think about everything that I do. Everything comes back to, how is this going to increase student achievement? How is this going to be engaging but also rigorous? how is this, how this lesson, maybe it didn't go well, okay? But the whole idea is not to just throw it away, but to see what can I do to make it better in terms of assessment as well, differentiating instruction, being able to help not only my special ed students, but my gifted students as well. And I think that's one of the things that I learned in the process through the portfolio entries.
Laurie, how about you?
I teach third grade, and it has.
So you teach everything.
I
pretty
do.
Much.
I do, and you know, some of the concepts that the National Board encourages, like student-centered instead of teacher-centered, engaging activities, hands-on involvement. It has really helped me to know to think about bringing that into my classroom, and then with the Common Core, it ties in so well with the Common Core. And at my school, Dawes, we've Ms. McClung, my principal, has really promoted Baldrige quality tools of teaching, and they just coincide. They go side by side together. So it's really helped me to evaluate my teaching, to get feedback from the students. All of those things they encourage. You know, communication is very big also. So it's very involved.
As far as both of you, what kind of support did you get? Whoever wants to start.
Do you mean, well, I was able, I know financially it was a hardship, but I was at that time, I'm not sure if Alabama still does it, but Alabama gave grants, and I was able to apply for a grant and I won it. So Alabama helped, well, actually they did pay for me to go through the National Board process, which was a big help. And of course, family is very important, their support and their willingness to take up the slack.
Sure.
Because there is going to be some slack. All very, very important. So they have to be committed to the process too, and realize how important it is, because it's like a college degree, another college degree.
What about your principal, the fellow teachers?
Oh yes. When you videotape in your classroom, any interruptions could be very detrimental to it. So my principal at the time, she put a little note on the announcement thing, do not make any announcements during this time. So little things like that, and other teachers helping you when you need it, very, very supportive, and it helps to know that they're all pulling for you. It really does.
Same with you, Miyoshi?
Yeah, same with me. Other teachers, other National Board certified teachers, math coaches, things like that, offering their support. You know, like I said, I went through the process with a few other teachers at my school, so being able to just watch each other's videos and say, okay, did you hear what that kid said? Can you hear the students when they're talking? And just, you know, going through the process with other teachers, and again, having support from your principals and those when you need to videotape or anything like that. It's been helpful to have other teachers around.
What would you say to teachers that are contemplating going through this?
I would definitely say go for it, because it's a very rewarding process. It is challenging, and it's a lot of work, but go for it, because there are a lot of advantages to being a National Board certified teacher. And then there's this great network of teachers that you belong to. And I think that that's what's really important also, knowing that after this process, you're still going to grow, because you get to meet those who have been National Board certified teachers for longer and can offer other advice to you in your classroom.
Laurie, same thing.
Oh yes, very well worth it. The time and the energy it takes, it just validates you. It's just another way to help you know that you are growing and can be the best you can be. I think it's very beneficial for your students and your peers and your principal. It's just, it helps you to know that you're doing all you can do.
And a network afterwards, and probably while you're doing it, you also have a great network of support, but then afterwards to have a network too that you can just talk to about any of it that's happening. And I'm sure when you're going through it, that network really helped you too, as far as keep going. Oh, you can do this, and I know it's hard, and it's very time consuming, but stick with it and you'll get through it. Did you know anybody in the program when you were going through?
I did. I had a mentor teacher. It wasn't very far along the program when I did it, but I was able to find someone who had gone through it, and she mentored me through it. And it really I think made a difference, because after I'd watched a video over and over and I'm like, okay, that's good enough, she would say, no, it's not. You've got to redo it. This part is not good enough. So without that, I think I would have maybe not, I would have tried my best, but I think it would have been easy for me to say, that's okay,
Right.
I'll do that. And she wouldn't take it. So I think that really helped, and it's an important part of the process, and it's something that National Board recommends too. Colleagues, collaborating with your colleagues and peers, and things like that.
And do either one of you, do you mentor, or are you planning on mentoring? Would you be willing to do that with a teacher? Well, how do you think that helps you, being a mentor instead of, you've gone through it? How does it help being a mentor?
I think it helps when you're collaborating with each other and trying to think of things that they could do to go along with the process, and it helps you to examine the things that you do and thinking about, well, am I doing the best I can do right now, and how could I make this better so I can help this teacher? So it helps you to examine and evaluate your processes again. And get out of the rut a little bit, because we all tend to do that. Sure. It challenges you, which is always a good thing.
And we are out of time right now, but I'm so delighted to have you both. And I know it's going to help, and you'll be so willing to help other people, and they will be so lucky to have your help. So thank you for spending time with me today.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And we'll be right back. Don't go away.
Diesel is a very big industry, and I went into it in the 2-year program at the Bryant Career Tech with Tony Tillman.
When Jacob graduated from the Bryant Career Center, he had earned his diesel credential.
The Career Technical Center taught me a lot, all the way from not knowing anything about a motor or engine to knowing pretty much every single moving part of them.
MCPSS Career Tech. Start your future today.
The quality of education that I received from the Mobile County Public School System really prepared me for global success. Being an international opera singer, I get to travel all across the world. And one of the most important aspects about that is being able to communicate and work with people. And the Mobile County Public School System really equipped me to be greatly successful worldwide.
Traditional light bulbs actually generate 9 times more heat than light. Let's switch to Energy Star light bulbs and stop burning through cash. Saving energy saves you money.
Don't look at me. Your hair's a bit frizzy today. Oh, you should pick that up. Oh, you're such a dork, loser. Here, let me help you with that. Oops.
Every day, kids witness bullying.
Oh, look. Your crush is looking at you. Poor you.
They want to help, but don't know how.
See, no one here's gonna help you, because no one
Teach your
likes you.
kids how to be more than a bystander. Visit stopbullying.gov.
Hello again, I'm Nancy Pierce, Public Relations Supervisor for the Mobile County Public School System, and we're learning all about National Board Certification, how wonderful it is and how it can make you grow as a teacher. We've talked to teachers, and now you're also going to meet a principal, find out how it has helped in her school. So next to me is Michelle McClung. She is the principal at Dawes Intermediate. Good to have you here.
Good to be here.
And Valerie Johnson from Mary G. Montgomery, and we've talked to you a little bit, but let's start with Michelle. Michelle, how has this helped in your school? Because you have a board certified teacher. Do you have more than one?
I've had up to 3 board certified teachers at the school in any given year, and you see a lot of common traits with the teachers.
Like what?
Well, first, let me just say the process is so rigorous that my hat goes off to any of the teachers who want to take on the process and really achieve the certification. I know it speaks volumes for them going the extra mile.
Right.
And but the teachers that I've had that are National Board Certified, I know that their students outperform their peers in those classrooms. And typically those teachers share common traits such as just being very reflective. They've been change agents in the school. They promote a very positive culture within the school. I've noticed that the teachers are typically leaders inside the school and in the community. There's just so much that they do. They promote a collaborative spirit amongst their colleagues and really push and you know, push everyone to be their very best.
Now, you had told me earlier that you wanted to become nationally certified as a principal, but they no longer have that. They do not have that program.
They piloted the program, and it's my understanding that they cut the program.
That's too bad.
Yes.
From what it sounds like, it's so good for teachers, and I know you really enjoy it, Valerie. What does your principal say?
I think that I know that Mr. Gill really appreciates any NBCTs. Like Michelle said, he understands the value that they hold, and he understands that they are better equipped to manage and monitor student learning. And that's what it's all about. It's all about the students and their learning. And that's what an NBCT can offer.
I'm totally amazed. I mean, I still can't figure out how you can do it all, and I know you appreciate it. And the neat thing is that you've got support, that they have support from their peers. You know, it's something like this could cause a jealousy. You know, I'm tired of this, and they just, you know, they think they're better. Well, I have a feeling you all don't act like that. Well, I'm better than they are, you know.
No. When you're looking at the heart of the school, you're looking at your curriculum, your instruction, your assessment. Your National Board Certified teachers are very confident to help lead curriculum development within the school, which is something that we're really having to do now with the lack of funding and changes with the Common Core. The process of certification really is enmeshed with Common Core and implementation of the Common Core and preparing them to implement their own curriculum. So that's one very positive thing that a teacher who goes through the process to become certified would be prepared to do and lead in a school. When you're looking at instruction, the majority of the National Board Certified teachers lead professional development within schools across the nation. And I know my National Board Certified teachers have all been very confident to lead professional development in my school, for my school and for the district. So they're leading it above a level beyond the school. And with assessment, they're looking at rigorous assessments, types of questions we ask, and they help facilitate the collaboration amongst their peers about, you know, questions, and are we, you know, asking hard enough questions? Are we asking the right questions? So I think the confidence that they get from going through the certification process, for me as a principal, it tells me a lot about that teacher.
Sure.
And without a doubt, I would hire any National Board Certified teacher. Did you know that the statistics I read said that nearly 4,000 teachers were certified last year? Of those 4,000 teachers, only 60 were from the state of Alabama.
Oh my gosh, that's not good
And
enough.
of those 60, only 2 were from Mobile County, and Neosha was one of them.
Right.
So, yes.
Well, hopefully after this interview we can get some more teachers interested. And we have about, I have to wrap it up, and I wanted to say something about your race, but I don't have time. But it's the Shamrock Shuffle, and it's the
March 14th.
March 14th at Dawes Intermediate. So I can give you all sorts of information. Just give me a buzz or send me an email. So thank you, ladies, and this has been a great show. I'll see you later. So thank you for tuning in.